Hello, everyone. This is Mr. Miller. This is the first video about what you need to do if you have missed class, or maybe you just need a reminder about what is going on. Yes, I know that it says right here that this is the red class, but this is not just for red, it's for red, blue, and green because you all have read the same stories, so it should work perfectly fine. So, when you're getting started with your essay, you should have a story picked out. And again, I'm using the red, but it should work for anything. So for this story, just because I am going to be just doing as quickly as I can, I'm going to choose blood. So I would go to my graphic organizer, which I have up. I would highlight then the color yellow or whatever color. I'm going to choose yellow just because I like the color yellow. And I'm going to do blood. And after I choose blood, I need to pick one of these elements over here. And I need to pick not just one, not just two, but three so I can then write about it for my essay. So I'm going to go through. And the thing I like about blood is I like the supernatural events. I want to write about that. Okay. And then I want to do let's see, the theme. I think the theme is important. And let's go back to source of threat. Maybe I do like the source of threat. So, all right. So then what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to here, my horror graphic organizer. And the story that I'm going to write about is blood. Simple enough, blood. Just write the sentence blood. And then I'd write down, the three horror elements I'm talking about. So I would go back to here and I would say supernatural events. Supernatural events. And I would go to source of the threat. There, I need a period there, and then after that, I would then go to then the theme. Okay, so you can't go any further unless you have this information because it won't make any sense. And once I've picked my three stories, my three core elements and everything else, I'm done. So I'm going to do the hook, and for this first essay, I'm going to give you the power to choose the ability to copy what I write. Maybe I'll just make it a little bit smaller, and that is perfectly fine. So the hook is something that grabs your attention, and that is exactly what I'm going to do. So I'm going to write down something like this. In the world of horror are many stories. Best is when you write a story, a short story, you need to have quotation marks. Is blood. Perfect. Easy, simple, needs to be 2 to 3 sentences long. For this, I have two. It works perfectly fine. So then what I'm going to do is I'm going to write a little brief summary about the story, and I need to have the author's name. So in the short story, I need to have the author's name too. See, there you go. So in the short story, Blood by the Draka and Mova, a female pet store owner lies about having the blood of a mole, which leads to dangerous consequences. You don't want to go into too much depth. You just want to leave it so it keeps your reader engaged. Like as if I didn't read the story, maybe I'd be like, this sounds like a good story. I might have to read it. So, and that's how it'd be for Blood. But if you are not using Blood, I will do the other stories for you. So in let's do next the lottery. You need to make sure you explain after that. Story, and then we would do the same thing for the other two stories. So oh, Vonnegut, who's that? Vonnegut, and then we need to make sure we explains what happens in the story. And then last but not least, we have the monkey's paw. But I forgot the 3 dots here. And then, okay, so that's what you need to do. Either you've done 1, 2, 3, 4, you've chosen one of these stories, you need to write about it. Okay, please do not use my example because that would be copying and pasting and plagiarism. I'm allowing you to write the hook, so don't do the brief summary except for this part. Okay, so and then the thesis statement is down here, which is the very last thing we need to do. So before we do that, though, I'm going to scroll down and we're going to look because Miss Scheich, Mr. Loss, Miss Bredenbach, and I have made your life very easy. So to make sure that we have the best possible, I want you to use these things here, all right? So we're going to introduce our essay, which is the first part here. We're going to say, we're going to do this essay as an exploration of, so we're going to start it off like this. So this essay is the exploration of the best horror elements of blood. And then I'm going to continue on by saying the 3 that I picked are the best ones. So the best are, and then I would write down supernatural events. And my quotation mark, the best horror story ever. This essay is an exploration of the best horror elements of blood. The best horror elements in blood are, and I have a list, so I put a colon there, are supernatural events, source of the threat, and theme. These horror elements make blood the best horror story ever. So this is what you should have for your first paragraph. It should be something like this. So if you need any questions, make sure you email me, or if you are in green group or red group, you email Mr. Lostry and we will help you out. But this is what your first paragraph should look like. All right. So if you need help, rewatch this video or ask. Thank you so much for your time. Bye-bye.